Yuki Tsunoda had a weekend in Imola that he'd rather not remember. After a huge crash during qualifying, the cost of fixing the RB21 skyrocketed. Tsunoda has been under a lot of pressure since joining the team, and weekends like this definitely don't bring down the pressure. With Verstappen back in the hunt for the Drivers' Championship and Red Bull being basically a one-man team right now, the team might consider another driver swap sooner rather than later. If that happens, who could be the ideal candidate to replace Yuki? There's no doubt that Tsunoda's performance during the Imola Grand Prix caused significant damage for Red Bull. Although he managed to finish P10, somewhat making up for his qualifying mishap, it's important to remember how Red Bull faced challenges due to the car's poor performance. Following his major crash, the team had to use a new chassis and parts of different specifications, leading to a breach of the park firm rule. Consequently, Tsunoda had to start the race from the pit lane. He was fitted with fresh components like a new internal combustion engine, turbocharger, MGU-H, MGU-K, battery, control electronics and exhaust, all of which are normally allocated for the season. Helmut Marko has highlighted the tough spot the team is in after the Imola crash. Although there's relief that Tsunoda emerged unscathed, the team now faces significant repercussions. Marko emphasised the gravity of the situation, pointing out that Red Bull has hit a rough patch with setbacks in 3 consecutive races. Monte Carlo in particular is unforgiving, and the shortage of spare parts is now a pressing issue. It's vital to provide Tsunoda with reassurance and support, and that remains a priority. While everyone's relieved that Tsunoda is unharmed, the team must navigate the challenges ahead. If this accident had taken place a few years ago, before the halo was introduced, it's uncertain if Yuki would have emerged unscathed. But with the incident now behind us, we're left with hefty repair bills which won't do the team any favours in funding upgrades for Verstappen's car. The season is still wide open. The Dutch driver has managed to shave 10 points off Piastri's lead and Norris's second place standing, so the last thing he needs is financial setbacks hampering enhancements to his vehicle. This situation also places a heavy burden on Tsunoda, who is feeling the weight of the pressure. Under such circumstances, individuals either rise to the challenge or falter completely. Unfortunately for Tsunoda, it seems like the latter is occurring. His recent mishaps, first in Jeddah and now in Imola, raise concerns about his and his team's future. He's all too aware of how precarious his position on the team is, especially since there's a looming threat of being replaced mid-season for the 3rd time. Red Bull has already dipped into the funds allocated for the 2026 budget cap, and it's problematic when a large chunk of that is spent on repairs instead of improvements. In Alpine's case, the secondary driver's job is clear: earn points, avoid crashes, and don't add to the team's troubles. This is also the expectation for Tsunoda. Unfortunately, the young Japanese driver hasn't stuck to these guidelines, and the pressure is on with contenders like Hajar and notably Lindblad gearing up to take his spot. Reflecting on his crash, which was mainly his fault, Tsunoda admitted, "It was a really foolish mistake on my part. I pushed too hard when there was no need. We were dealing with many car modifications." Pushing the limits too soon without fully grasping the car's capabilities seemed completely unnecessary. Jacques Villeneuve, an F1 veteran, was quick to point out that this kind of aggressive driving will only ramp up the pressure on Tsunoda. It's not just about his inconsistency on the track, it's also about Red Bull eyeing fresh talent. Hadjar demonstrated impressive skill throughout the race, ultimately finishing ahead of Tsunoda and earning 2 crucial points for the team. Even with the virtual and actual safety cars shaking things up, being strategically positioned was key to capitalising on those opportunities. If Tsunoda continues in this manner, he might reveal Red Bull's weaknesses, especially as Ferrari and Mercedes are poised to unleash their upcoming upgrades in the Constructors' Championship. Villeneuve delved deeper into the thrilling events of Saturday's qualifying, exclaiming how unexpected it was with 2 significant crashes. Such drama is rare, and it raises the question: is Hadjar, the standout performer this year, poised to take Tsunoda's place soon? In the race, Hadjar held his starting position at P9, and if not for the series of mishaps involving the safety car, he could have bagged more points. Ironically, it was this very safety car that allowed Tsunoda to compete for points. While Tsunoda's climb from the pit lane to P10 was remarkable, it doesn't fully reflect his overall performance. Hadjar is mirroring Tsunoda's efforts in Red Bull's sister team, proving his potential. Additionally, he's outshining Lawson, which strengthens his standing. After a rocky start to the season, Hadjar has swiftly found his rhythm. Whether people acknowledge it or not, he has the capability to seize crucial moments and secure points. Thanks to his efforts, the racing team might see a different, more lucrative outcome in the Constructors' Championship, potentially earning them tens of millions. While Marco has assured us that Tsunoda's spot is secure until the season ends, performances like his recent crash aren't helping his case. When tasked with holding off Piastri, Tsunoda struggled, particularly given that he had older tyres. Although defending against the McLaren driver wasn't easy, we all know Perez would have put up a much tougher fight. Ultimately, this isn't ideal for Tsunoda, especially in crucial moments when Verstappen needs backup. Marco, however, has been singing the praises of Hadjar, the standout performer this season. The experienced Austrian noted how Hadjar, despite being new to many circuits, impressed with his speed and composure, committing few errors aside from one in Australia. Isaac has been consistently clocking impressive lap times and managing his tyres well, demonstrating a calmness that many new Formula One drivers aspire to achieve. Red Bull's future is quite uncertain, especially with Verstappen's situation creating doubts. However, one thing they're certain about is fast-tracking Lindblad into Formula One. Fitting 3 drivers into 2 spots is tricky. Many believe we're witnessing the end of Lawson's stint, but there's a possibility the Kiwi might retain his seat, potentially at the expense of his Japanese teammate. If Yuki continues to crash, Hadjar might step up to Red Bull and Lindblad could secure a spot with Racing Bulls. Though this seems unlikely, the last thing the Austrian team needs is setbacks from accidents and poor performances. In such circumstances, Red Bull would be wise to nurture emerging talent rather than reinstating Yuki to the sister team after his 5-year tenure. Additionally, we can't ignore the ties with Honda. Despite Yuki's claims to the contrary, it's evident that his presence in Formula One is largely due to support from the Honda Academy and their partnership with Red Bull. Let's not overlook Tsunoda's shaky performance in Jeddah either. Despite not having much opportunity to showcase his skills due to an early collision with Gasly, the incident highlighted Red Bull's vulnerability. This crash, like the ones before, brought yet another repair bill that demanded their attention. Although the incident wasn't as significant as the one in Imola, it's a crucial element influencing his potential in Formula One. Considering everything, do you believe Tsunoda's future with Red Bull is uncertain? Furthermore, should the Austrian team start thinking about finding a replacement sooner rather than later? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.